So on today's episode we will be doing two major services. We'll be doing a timing belt and water pump on the 2007 Acura V6, and we will be doing tensioner. So I will be covering the process to do both. So as usual, jack the car up. This is the only side you're really gonna have to take apart. So just gotta take this out, take the wheel off, take this splash shield down. Also from underneath the car, gonna have to loosen this so you can get to the radiator hoses, and then once that's out the way, you let it start draining, then just start on taking the serpentine belt out. So in order to get the serpentine belt out, this right here is a 14. You just put a socket on it, apply pressure, and then you'll loosen the belt. Right now we just took off the belt. You just basically put a 14 millimeter right here, push it towards the back of the engine. It'll give it a little bit, it'll release the tension. You can just pop the belt off. We also have the antifreeze draining from the radiator. We are using the pickup, which is this item right here. Just basically loosen it and it'll come out faster or slower or whatnot. Right now we're going to try to take off the crankshaft using this crankshaft, this special socket. It's just a 19 millimeter, but it's weighted, so when you turn it helps take out the bolt. And if you own a Honda, you know this is normally the hardest part of any job, dealing with a timing belt. Okay, so right now we're going to be taking off the tensioner just to get it out of the way. So right now I'm going to show you guys how to take off the tensioner. You're going to get 10 millimeter, and down here in this corner, you can probably see it where my finger is. There's a 10 millimeter holding it in. Once you take that out, then you move on to this one right here. This should be a 12 or 14. Sorry, this should be a 14. This bolt right here on the tensioner is a 12 millimeter. Kind of hard to show you, so I'll show you once everything is out. So the main bolt that holds the tension in place is a 14, which is right there. So now I just gotta figure out how to wiggle it out. So this is how it is inside the vehicle. This one right there is a 14, the one below is a 12. You kind of have to feel for this bottom one because you can't really see it. And that's how you take it out. So basically just replace it with a brand new unit. And that's how you replace the tensioner. So as stated previously, getting this crankshaft pulley bolt is probably the hardest part of this job. Had to pull out the big guns and use the actual air gun. So yeah, take it out. This thing right here. So now we just gotta work the crankshaft pulley off, and as you can see, we already started taking off the covers. They just held in by 10 millimeter bolts, so I didn't think it was really prevalent to show you guys. And what did you call it? Oh, this is the mount that goes right here. Just take them out, 14 then a 17, pretty simple. And yeah, so now I need a new engine mount because this is what happened. This basically broke off when I was taking it out. So that means this mount was bad, which is an indication that all of them are bad. So next thing I'll be doing is upgrading these mounts to some kind of polyurethane. So this is the lower timing cover. Once you take the crankshaft off, just gotta take these 10 millimeters out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That's for the bottom. These are for the top. This is for the left side, closest to the firewall. And this is for the right side, closest to the front of the engine, to the bumper. Right now we just take the power steering pump out of the way so we can have more access to be able to see everything we're doing. Basically just pick it up, push out of the way, so now we have full access to see everything we're doing and to have nothing interfere. Just gotta take out this 10mm. We already took out the two 14s that are holding this in place, and we're just gonna take it out, and then we have full access to everything. So we're taking off this pulley right here, the side post mount. This one has 3 bolts. It's 3 14s. It's kind of hidden, so there's one here, there's one right here, and there's one down there at the bottom, which is right here. So I'm just taking out this last one, then I should be able to get everything out. We took the power steering pump out of the way, we just moved it up so we have more clearance to see everything, to do the timing, and by doing it this way we'll have full access to everything. We just took out the side mount as you was here a few minutes ago. This will give us more access to get into this bolt right here at the bottom. So we finally took it off. You just have to be real careful because the bolts are pretty dirty, as you can see. This one's even stuck in there, so we just have to clean everything out, put some anti-seize on both of them, put it back in. Same for the motor mount bolts. So this is something just take a look at. So everything is good. We're just gonna set everything to top dead center, just gonna time it, and then just start taking it apart.
All white metal, the next one is iron and white metal. I have a little rust at the bottom. Clean it up on a clean zip. The option is for moving.
What are you guys?
What? What is it? Take the plug out and do this.
Honda, baby. So that's what it looks like. Everything's lined up. Top dead center on this side. Looking at looking at that arrow right there on top of the pocket. Nope. And then there's a mark right here. Right here. Line up to there. That one over there is the same thing. So now we just start taking it apart. Okay, so once you have the timing belt set to top dead center, you have to take the belt off. Basically, there is a little keyway back here. You put a long 10mm bolt in, screw it in, and it'll release the tension a little bit. So this way you'll be able to slide the belt off. So this works, and so make sure you get that bolt ahead of time. FYI, Volkswagen sucks.
I'm broke, baby. I'm broke. Okay.
That's pretty good.
So
this is what the belt looks like. Doesn't look too bad, but just want to be safe over sorry. So these are all the new parts. This is the Isla pulley, both these, and that's the tensioner. So the tensioner is somewhere down here. So what I'll normally do is I'll take this one out, Then I take the 2 bolts for the tensioner out, and I change these pulleys. Then I start working on the water pump. So once I get all that out of the way, then I'll think about putting everything back together. So right now we're just taking out the tensioner. It's held in by 2 10mm bolts. Yeah. So this is the time belt tensioner. As you can see, it has a little fluid coming out, so I believe this thing was leaking a little bit. So it's a good thing we're changing it. Even though the belt looked good, it's always a good idea to change this. Tensioner is out. Just gotta take out this one at the bottom for this, and then we just take out the water pump, which is held in by a few 10s. So here's a close-up of the timing. That's the water pump section. I'm just gonna take these 10s out. One here, and there should be one more underneath here. Then we're just gonna basically pop it out. But first I'm gonna take this one out. This is a 14. Take that out. So once you take all the bolts out, you just gotta pop the water pump off. It's gonna make a little mess, so make sure you have something underneath there to hold it. And no matter how much you drain out the radiator, there's still gonna be some coming out, so be prepared for that. Just gotta pry it out gently. So right here, that's where it was leaking, right from this little corner. So this is an OEM pump. So they took pretty good care of this one. Seemed pretty good. But that's why I'm changing it. That little small leak, the leak was coming from right here. Right here's where it's leaking from. So that's why I had to change it and do all the timing and everything. So this is the water pump we're putting on. Comes with a gasket. This is the Asian unit, so normally what I do, I just put a little bit of gasket sealant on it just to keep this in place and just to secure all the little ends to make sure it doesn't leak. No, sometimes a little more is better than not enough. And obviously it goes in like this. So now the same, just basically gotta tighten everything up 10 millimeters. try to tighten it in a star pattern. This way it just evenly distribute the force across everything. So right now we're just gonna attach a tensioner. It's, see if I can show you, it is down here. Should be 2 10mm bolts. Just put it in, tighten it up. I'm sure you can see it's not really that great of a view, but yeah, you figure it out. So that's the tensioner. It's installed. We leave this pin in until everything's set up. The timing belt is installed. That's when you pull it afterwards. This is the one that goes closest to the tension. Just so you know, this is the old one. You just gotta slide out this, I guess, the sleeve so you can install it into the new one.
No, man, change. You have a part number for them or no? You have a part number for them?
So now we're just installing the timing belt. We made sure the bottom timing mark are in sync to the actual mark on the housing for the oil pump. Now we just gotta try to put these on. Basically, you do the crankshaft sprocket first, then goes over the guide, basically the pulley, goes over camshaft up front, then over the water pump, then to this one, and then over the tensioner last. Just gonna make sure this mark lines up here. This mark lines up here. And make sure this lines up with the oil pump. There's a mark right here at the top. Basically comes straight down. So once everything's lined up, you just basically put it on, pull the tensioner, and just rotate the whole engine about 2 rotations to make sure everything is still in time. So now once the pin is pulled out, you just basically put a socket on and do the 2 complete revolutions and make sure everything is back in time. Tensioner, gotta slide it in and then tighten it up. It's only a 12 and a 14.